What's up guys, Brandon here from Gearist. Today we're going to be breaking down a really neat innovation, and that is the Flamestower. For many of us, even when we're trying to get off the grid, we still like to have our devices with us. I know that when I go out for runs or hikes or skiing or whatever, I always have my phone with me, and oftentimes a GPS device as well, and that is because we want to document these things. We want to have this lifeline in case we get into some sort of trouble. The problem with that is that we need a sustainable and replenishable energy source in order to recharge these things. Now, a battery pack is fine and good, but even a battery pack will go dead in a pretty short amount of time. Then we have solar chargers, but even those need sun to operate a lot of the time, and they take so long to recharge their often attached battery packs that it's not always a viable option, especially if the sun goes away. In this case, we've got this guy right here. This is a really innovative thing that I was very impressed by, really kind of eager to look at. So while I tell you about this review, I'm then actually going to have to do it over top of a little stove, a camp stove, in order to show you how it actually works under kind of a time lapse, because I can't set a fire while I'm standing right here inside the studio. So how does this thing work? Well, it's pretty simple, and I gotta say that I was remarkably kind of impressed at exactly how simple this thing is. Pretty much it works like this. You've got this red piece right here. This is a silicone cup. You pop that cup up, you fill this with water. And then you've got this carbon, or it's probably like a ceramic blade right here almost. And what you want to do with that is you want to get that over a fire. This is what we need to get hot, because this in turn heats up the water. That in turn powers this thing. And when you see this little status light, which is right there, that little flamethrower little thing lights up green, once you're there, this thing is ready to charge whatever you need to make power. Okay, but how does it work, right? I can't explain the physics to you, so I'll just read from what they have on their website. It says the Flamestower fire charger works with the energy of your cooking or campfires. Once the blade, this part, is in a fire, the thermal energy is transferred to the thermoelectric generator, TEG. That's that ridge thing in there. The opposite surface of the TEG is in contact with the water reservoir. Hot side gets hot, cold side stays relatively cool, and the temperature difference is what generates electricity. The beauty of this thing is that it just uses a little bit of water. I mean, this is maybe 4 or 5 ounces of water and some fire. And it doesn't have to be fire. As you can see, what we're going to talk about now is we're going to put this thing into a camp stove while I talk about it. This thing is really dead simple to use. I mean, I've explained it in the first 30 seconds of this review. You put some water in here, put this blade into a fire, it heats up, that's it. Now, the beauty of that is that even if you've been out camping and hiking for a long day or something like that, and you have an adult beverage, you don't exactly need a degree in physics to make this thing work. From the time that I put cold water in here, put it in the fire, it was ready to charge in about 5 minutes on my first try. And what we're watching right now is the elapsed time on this camp stove. The camp stove we're going to be using for this little demonstration is the Olicamp Accelerator Ultra Titanium Stove, this guy right here. Now, we did a review of this. You can see that on Gearist if you click right there. And so now I'm going to go ahead and light this guy up. We chose to do this inside the house instead of outside because it's about 0 degrees outside right now. And here I've got the iPad, which is going to have a timer running, and we're just going to kind of time lapse this sucker. So I break it out here, go ahead and get everything all nice and set up and ready to go. So the water we're using for this is straight out of the faucet and is cold water, which is kind of what we wanted to use here. So maybe to mimic like a creek water or something like that that you might find while camping. And we're just gonna kind of straight up set that thing right there. So we're gonna set that right there like that. You can see that the flame is right on top of that guy. We're gonna start our timer here. So it says 0. We're gonna start our stopwatch. So we're gonna let that go for a little bit. What we're looking for is that light right there to get green, and it's already green. So it is already ready to charge. How about that? Goodness gracious. I wouldn't expect it to be that quick normally. I think it's because it's right in this fire. On a campfire, it might take a little bit longer. So we'll plug that in. We're gonna plug in my iPhone, which you can see right here. Let's see. There you go. Charging, ready to go. That took like 15 seconds on a camp stove. So right now it is warming up, the kind of using the temperature differential again between this blade and what cold water is in here, that heat exchanger down in the bottom of there. So it's already charging and it took less than a minute. Now again, that is on a camp stove. That is not in real life on a campfire, but still it's remarkably fast. When you're done with the Flamestower, you want to give it about 10 or 15 minutes for everything to kind of cool down, because it does get quite warm. And then once it does, all you do is fold it up and you are about ready to go. You just fold it like this, flip this little guy over here, put it here, and just pull these in, and it breaks down into something that is extremely compact. You can see it right there. Very compact, out of the way, and ready to charge again. The designers of the Flamestower have built it to last for about 5,000 charge cycles. So it's probably going to be a while before you have to get a new one. If ever, you'll have to get a new one, and that's if you camp a lot. The guys from Flamestower also have a new device that is out. It's called the Candle Charger. This snazzy little device works basically the same way as this does. Same principle anyway, except for you can put like a sterno or something under this thing, pot of water. It boils the water, but it's also charging at the same time. So it's a really, really cool thing, and these guys are making some cool products. This guy right here originally retailed for $99. And some of the links down in the description below, you can find it for right around $75 or so. Really, really very handy to take with you. Again, you can use in any fire. You could use on a camp stove, whatever you want. As long as it's got fire, it can heat this thing up and create that temperature differential. This thing is ready to go. Really simple, very ingenious device from Flamestower. Now, before we give you guys a question of the day, I want you to go ahead and like and favorite this video and subscribe to our channel, please. Now, our question of the day for you is, have you ever been out on an adventure, backpacking, skiing, camping, whatever, and run out of power, drained all your battery packs, and really been in a bind? If so, I want to hear your stories. Let us know down in the comments section below. Guys, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us today. If you've got any questions about this device or any of our other reviews and have any questions for Ask Gearist, don't hesitate to either leave an email at info@gearist.com or just pop a comment down in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you. As always, please follow us on all of our social media outlets, which you can see here to my right, your left, including that subscribe to YouTube button that is right there. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help support us. It means a whole lot. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.